I've just got a quick tip for you just on cleaning irons. There's loads of methods of doing it with white vinegar, bicarb, toothpaste, paracetamol. And I've sort of got a quicker method using some of those things. I've got water, a bit of bicarb, although you can use something like something that's really mildly abrasive like toothpaste, just fine, and white vinegar. You don't have to use the vinegar. I just put it in the water reservoir just to clean the jets out a bit easier from inside. And I don't use this every time. I bet I use this perhaps once every 6 months. I have a sort of quick method of cleaning the iron just really quickly, just every few days, something like that. But I only really need to do it if I'm using something like I'm pressing lots of fusible buckram. Inevitably the sort of crumbs of the glue come off sometimes, the buckram, and they get everywhere and they get on the underside of the iron and burn, and they just make it a bit gummy. So that's my iron at the moment, and actually it's fine, but I just did press some linings yesterday, and when you press like over a seam or somewhere where you've got lots of layers and you've got something standing proud, you start to risk transferring a bit of this sort of dirty brown onto it. I've got my iron on full power, and then I've got a piece of interlining. This is cotton bump interline. The reason I like this is because it's got that sort of slightly lumpy texture, the weave in it. It's got this bubbly texture, but you can use anything. A bit of bonded lining, normal interlining, several layers of fabric, as long as it creates a bit of a wad rather than just a thin piece of fabric. And you need a sharp edge to your table to do it on. A rounded edge on a dining table won't work. It might, but it's just not going to be as effective. And then all I do is I just wet the line in a bit. Not much, you don't need to do it much. Chuck a bit of bicarb on. Like that. And then in my water reservoir, which I have to be careful because I've broken it, so it comes off. I put a bit of vinegar, and it stinks a bit. Obviously it's going to smell a bit, but it goes really quickly. Some people fill up the whole reservoir and steam and steam till it's all gone, and I think that's probably something that'll be really good to use like in a hard water place, but our waters here isn't so bad. We don't get any build up of lime scale or anything, so I don't really need it. It's just to clean out the jets a bit better. And then I put it on full steam and also give it a blast as well, and then putting this on the edge so that the wet bit with the bicarb on is over the edge of the table. I just rub like that, and you'll see that it starts to, I don't like to do it too much because it's got a ceramic coating on the bottom of this iron, so you do have to be a bit careful. Oh, it stinks a bit of vinegar now in here. And just keep rubbing and rubbing and work your way. Just move the piece of cloth down a bit. And you'll see that I've got that off there. And then I'm going to turn it over so I've just got the wet, but I've not got the bicarb. And I'll keep rubbing. Put it back on just to warm it up. It's a bit wetter actually. I don't have a sink down here in my workroom, so I have to decant water and bring it down in bottles. Otherwise I'd just take this to the sink and soak it. So give it a blast. And then another go. Just the water. I'm getting loads more dirt off this now. It seems to have loosened it a lot more now. So you can see it's starting to come away now. Look at that. Filthy. A lot of people actually use a cloth and rub at the iron with their hands, but it burns your fingers. So why not use a method that's not going to burn your fingers? Look it over. Transferred a bit more. I'm going to get another clean piece of interlining. I actually wouldn't believe all that comes off there. Some of it might be the bicarb that's burnt on now, but it seems to help bring everything else off with it, I've noticed. So sort of burning the bicarb on helps somehow. Look at that. It's really starting to come up clean now. Trying to get rid of all this vinegar now. Otherwise, everything I own is going to stink of vinegar. And the only other thing you might need to do is to just get in the grooves. That's why I like to use the bumpier interlining, because it seems to get in there a bit. There's not much more coming off here now, but I'm just going to do this the very edge. Right off the edge. Quite scratched the bottom of my iron, so I'm never going to get it perfect. I'm just going to, some of this is still a bit wet, hopefully without burning my fingers. I'm just going to get in these grooves and get out the residue out of bicarb. Ow! See, I don't know, why would you, flipping heck, want to do this? A brush might be better, mightn't it? But that's really hot. So there's a bit more residue on there. Hopefully blast these bits out over time. This is some of the ceramics starting to come off there, so I don't want to do it too much more, otherwise I lose that lovely glide. I'll only do this much every now and again and get it pretty clean like that. Normally I just get a dry piece of interlining, any interlining, like this is just a piece of sarrel, and then I can be, you know, while I'm working. Gosh, look at all that I've got off. All that there, that off the edge. And that, a lot in it. Yeah, I would just do that if I feel it's just starting to get a bit mucky. Actually, I'm doing that now and it's coming up clean. So I'm pleased with that. That'll do. That's it. So hopefully I find it helpful. Save you burning your fingers like that last minute or so. Thank you very much. Goodbye.